Sofi. I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. Today I'll be sharing with you the benefits of making mandala offerings. As you know, we need tremendous amount of merits to be able to progress in our spiritual path. And as such, mandala offerings is one of the most effective in gaining merits. This has been taught by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche, and I will share with you the links to his articles later on in my FB post so that you may visit to learn more. Mandala, or kilko in Tibetan, means taking the essence. The offering of the mandala literally refers to taking the essence of the universe and generating tremendous amounts of merit. The mandala is a symbolic representation of the universe and all the precious objects that are contained within, visualized as completely pure and offered to the Buddhas. According to Buddhist cosmology, our world is flat with a large mountain, Mount Meru, in the mid-center, surrounded by 4 continents, each of which has 2 major and many minor subcontinents. There are billions of such worlds, and when we offer the mandala, we imagine holding these billions of worlds in our hand, regarding them as pure lands and offering them up to the Buddha. In order for any offering to the Buddhas to generate merits, we must make the offering with the right attitude, free of miserliness, and free from the 8 worldly concerns. Briefly, the 8 worldly concerns are happiness versus suffering. When we have happiness, we are fear of losing that, and when we are suffering, we wish to be out of it. The more we fear, the more we wish or hope, the more pain we feel. 2. Fame versus insignificance. Always wishing to be recognized as someone special. For example, especially those who are in the performance industry, the actresses or the actors, they are constantly needing to be famous. And if they are not, they'll go into depression. And 3. Praise versus blame. Constantly looking for praises or having doubt of one's worth, busy covering our mistakes so not to be blamed or caught. And number 4, gain versus loss. Always anxious that when we are successful, we may be taken away, or constantly striving for the next level of success. Or when one moment we are hopeful and the next the hope is gone. As mandala offerings is made of a visualized pure form, it is easy to make this offering free of such attitudes. Therefore, mandala offerings is a very powerful method to accumulate vast amount of merits. To realize the true value of this practice, we must understand the good and bad karma that comes from mental activity, from our thoughts alone. If you generate the desire to offer the entire world, the entire universe, and all its wealth to the Buddha, you form and you build the world and all its wealth in your thoughts, giving it an imagined solidity or reality. Then you offer it up to the Buddha. Imagine how much merits that you generate. During our daily prayers to Lama Tsongkhapa, we offer the mandala using our hands. Like this. See? The middle being the Mount Meru, and we have the 4 continents. As you can see, 4 continents on the side surrounding. This, and then we offer it with a short prayer. At the end of the prayer, we'll tilt the hand backwards and symbolize that we are receiving the blessings from the Buddha. You can invite a mandala set. Let me show you a picture of it. There you go. This is the actual mandala set. And you can make the offering with the full sets of prayer. The mandala set can be made out of many materials such as wood, stone, metal, copper, silver, or the best, gold. Then you can fill it with offerings such as precious stones, pearls, wheat, or even rice. Whatever that you're comfortable with. It will be advisable to get something light so that when you're filling it, it will get heavier and you may lose your focus, if you're trying to balance it. So the set comprises of a bottom base, which is roughly about around 6 inch in diameter, and 3 rings of different size. And the tip is the representation of the top of Mount Meru. I will not go into the technicalities, but each step involved in the mandala offering aids us in our practices. Example, when we wipe the base with some grains clockwise, using the base of our forearm, symbolically, we are destroying our ignorance, anger, attachment. The psychic nerves along the base of our right forearm increases wisdom, which is around here, because you'll be doing, like this, the cleansing movement. So the line here. Then when you polish it anti-clockwise, it represents our aspiration to attain the qualities of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind. You may visit the links that I'll be sharing later to learn more about the actual mandala offering. Although it may seem over the top in offering the whole universe, what we are actually doing is cultivating the attitude of generosity and giving. One of our preliminary practices to receiving higher practices is 100,000 mandala offerings. Can you imagine the constant offering of the universe and its richness to the Buddhas? The mind that generates the universe and its wealth with full concentration and clarity. By 100,000, you probably can conjure up the mandala immediately, when needed. And the thing is, you're there too because it's your thoughts. To dwell within the universe of the Buddha, how beautiful. And with that, I will end my sharing for today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be taking a few questions. Sorry, just a moment. Right, the questions. The question from Yi Yin Teo. How can we make sure our offerings made are without miserliness? That means when you're making it within your means and without any attachments. And do not be very calculative in your offerings. Well, do not be calculative at all. So when you're offering it with the pure sincerity. From Chris, what do you mean by visualize pure form? That means it's something that you visualize purely out of the purity that you wish to offer, without any attachments and with a pure motive. This is like because maybe in making the sensory offerings, sometimes you may have attachments, such as some minor form of attachment, maybe, like in terms like I offer this apple and maybe later I want to eat it, that kind of form, that attachment. But in offering the mandala, it's something very pure that you are giving wholeheartedly, that is visualized from within your mind, that does not cost you anything, and in such, that is the visualized pure form of it. From Valentina, how do we control our mind so that we don't make offerings motivated by the 8 worldly concerns? Very simply, because the 8 worldly concerns brings us suffering. It causes us to suffer. So as such, we wish to be out of that, and in such, we make things that we focus on our offering, and we do not think of other thoughts. As you know, we just want to generate the merits, and since it's coming from our thoughts, then and it's free. I mean, you know, it's our thoughts. It's free, and it doesn't. You don't have to. It doesn't cost you anything in forming the thoughts. So as such, you can offer it without the taint of other emotions. You know, focus on just offering pure the universe to the Buddha. Question from Martin. Can you explain in detail why the mandala offerings is a good way of collecting merits? Is it effective than the other preliminary practices such as full prostrations? Okay, the mandala offering is a good way of collecting merits because it's based on our pure thoughts. That means it generates from within our minds, which creates the good karma with good motivation, and it doesn't cost us anything, so it doesn't get tainted with, you know, our worldly concerns. And you know, the merits that's generated from our thoughts, it's basically what that will help us to generate the merits. And it's something that, you know, we can offer very easily. And the question is it more effective than other preliminary practices such as full prostrations? It will be different because for prostrations, it is more of yes, it is generating merits, but at the same time, it is also it's a different form, as in it helps us to remove the obstacles of our physical, our karmic physical obstacles, like maybe things that we've committed, you know, in the physical form. But the thing is, for this question, it's better that, you know, I were to look up for the answer, and I will reply you later on in the answer, I mean the comment section. Thank you. Okay, from Yi Yin Teo. Okay, Yi Yin Teo's question is, what exactly is Buddha's body, speech and mind? What are we trying to achieve? Buddha's body, speech and mind, I think it's better that, you know, I give you a complete answer in the comment section, because I cannot answer you right now. Martin has asked, what do you mean by do not be calculative when offering the mandala? It's not clear to me. Well, sometimes when we're offering things, we have the expectation. So in that way, we are being calculative, as in what I give and how much will I get back. So that is what I mean by calculative. What is the most powerful offering to the Buddha that you know of? This, I would say, our full mind transformation, where we solely work to benefit others with pure motivation, you know, to benefit others. And from Pastor Adeline, what is the difference between putting the mandala set, as you have shown in the screen, on the altar, and you use it when you recite the mandala offering prayers? Okay, this I better get the answer before I mean, you know, I'll leave my answer in the comment section after, because I'm not very sure of my answer now. Thank you. And from Martin, you mean to say merits from mandala offerings is different to merits from full prostrations? If prostrations is to purify physical karma, then what kind of karma does the mandala offerings purify? The mandala offering, it's purification, but it purifies a lot of our miserliness, and it helps us to focus in our concentration due to having to do the visualization. And other than that, I will have to look it up and I'll answer you in my comment section. Is there any more questions? Okay, since there's no more question, I will end the session today. But if there are questions, I will answer them in the comment section. Thank you. So now we end this with a completion dedication. Thank you. Janjuk Sencho Rinpoche, Mate Panam Deshi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Wani Bandu Pewashu, Toni Towa Rinpoche, Mate Panam Deshi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Wani Bandu Pewashu, Daso Juni Sapagi Wadi, Talandro Agunagapan, Jefa Jesu Losan Trapai, Tamping Porin Dusa Sesho, Kewa Kundu Yandala Mandan, Drami Joki Palang Joji, Sadam Bang Yakte Rasoni, Doji Changi Opang Tusu, Gewa Di, Yududa, Lamasam Yudriani, Jowa Chikamalupa, De Salago Pashu, Jogi Doko Sungapa, Josu Nampa Pewala, Geki Samasiwada, Tungi Malu Samasho, Gadam Songi Dusandan, Drewa Songi Latene, Gewa Losan Trapai, Tampayu Riva, Yushi, Modele Sinele, Mingunyan Deleshi, Nisintatu Delepel, Kunju Songi Dino, Kunju Songi Wajuso, Kunju Songi Trasi, Sho, Jesulama, Kusen Lapinchi, Namka Trini Jojo Gebada. Rosam tempe drum is of song, drum and Missa Tato Ni, Long and Rawe Coalition come then, Pendan Demo Mali, and Channel Z, when dancing gets so Shapishi, Badu, then she. Home, don't be not Malupa, then the Dala Sauduso, God and then Palong Shot Nam, gave us so she should then sell. Thank you. See you tomorrow.